It's 3 points from 2 games, but what's their performances overall been like? What are they missing?
Well, they're missing cohesion. There's no question about that. And they're, I was going to say they're missing chances. They certainly missed chances today, but I'm wondering where the goals are coming from. You know, we said this before the game or before the season kicked off. If Marcus Rashford doesn't score, where are the goals coming from? Because again, he started Garnacho on one side and Anthony on the other, and they were both poor.
Yeah.
And that is being kind. And so that means that if Rashford isn't scoring, where are the goals coming from? Bruno Fernandes doesn't look like he's got his shooting boots on. Mason Mount hasn't got anywhere near the penalty box in the first 2 games, and hasn't really created anything for anybody else. So creatively, and as far as putting the ball in the back of the net, you don't know where that's coming from United. And you've got to say as well that defensively, which to me was their rock last season, they've looked a little vulnerable. Teams have been getting at them. And so, yeah, this has not been a good start for United. And if you're Ten Hag, you're kind of scratching your head as how to change this. You know, again, they made the same changes as last week. They brought on Sancho and Christian Eriksen, gave them a little bit of a fillip, but they couldn't change the course of the game. So maybe you might find that they'll start in the next one, because the starting 11 at Wolves and the starting 11 today did absolutely nothing to suggest this is Manchester United's best starting 11. So I would expect changes next time out.
Now, let's wrap this up by talking about someone you've just mentioned, Mason Mount. Now, different players take a different amount of time to settle into a new club. Where's Mason Mount's best position for Manchester United, the way that they set up, do you think?
If it was me, I would pull Anthony and I would put Mason Mount in that position.
Okay.
You know, he's got great work rate. He'll run for you all day. He's a great team guy. And when he's in and around the final third, we've seen at Chelsea that he can produce. I mean, he was Chelsea's best player for what? Certainly not the last season, but the previous 2 seasons. He was their best player, no question. So I think that's where he should start. It seems to me as though he's a little in between and betwixt. He's not getting forward, and he doesn't seem to be doing an awful lot defensively. So if I'm Ten Hag again, I'm benching Anthony, and I'm putting Mason Mount on that right hand side.
But this was Spurs Day, and a first home game in charge in the Premier League for Ange Postecoglou. And Ange Ball wins out by 2-0, and a first home win for Spurs over Manchester United since they beat them at Wembley in January 2018. The time before that, it was the last ever game at White Hart Lane. Harry Kane scored. Remember him? He wasn't needed today, as Spurs beat Manchester United by 2-0.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.